another divisional matchup and another huge game kind of between an overachiever and a team against a talented team. And that's the Houston Texans heading up to Indianapolis. We're finally getting to see these two teams play against each other. Kind of been waiting for it all year, and it's finally here. Paul, what's your lean on this gigantic AFC South matchup?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really exciting game. Two pretty evenly matched teams. Both have beat the Chiefs in the last 2 weeks, which I think makes this game really exciting, to be honest.
Definitely adds to it.
Exactly, I think it does. Indianapolis, their dominant offensive line is something Houston wishes they had, I think, in this game. And I think we're really going to see that. Jacoby Brissett has proven himself this year as a true number one quarterback, maybe even a top 10 quarterback in the league to some people. So I think that he can pull this off. Ask Pat McAfee. Just listen to that man talk about him. It's insane.
Jacoby Brissett is a top 10 quarterback.
I think he's a good number one quarterback that Indianapolis is going to have for a couple of years. That's why they signed him. But Houston has Deshaun Watson. I think he's the deal breaker for me in this game.
Percent agree.
But Deshaun played well the last 2 weeks. Other than from when he tore his ACL, he didn't play well. He hasn't really strung too many good games together. Their offensive line is a little bit – they have a couple holes. I think I heard of not their right tackle, I believe, went down this week. So the left side, of course, still has Tunsil on it, but that worries me. Deshaun Watson, when he gets pressured, is a lot worse than when he doesn't, like most quarterbacks, of course. But Deshaun's a different level when he's not pressured. So for that, I think Indy's rushing the pass rusher, or the quarterback, using their pass rushers to get to him quickly. And their defense is going to come through and win them this game. And I'm taking Indianapolis over Houston.
I see why you're doing that, but first of all, yeah, Titus Howard, the Texans' right tackle, is out for this game. The good news for the Texans is, and what I said in an Instagram debate earlier today, is Jacoby Brissett's mom would take Deshaun Watson over Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett as a top 10 quarterback is pretty laughable, but I can't. McAfee's whatever sometimes, man. Like whatever.
I think he's good. I like him.
He's a little biased when it comes to.
Did he not beat Patrick Mahomes? That's all I'm saying. Just like the Detroit Minnesota game, a lot of it does come down to the team putting the whole performance together, and that's kind of my big question mark about Houston.
They got slapped by Derek Carr, in the Raiders. So, I mean, this is a lot happens in this league. The thing about the Texans is the Colts probably have the better roster at this point, although it's pretty close. The Texans secondary is just absolute junk.
Yeah.
The good news is they're not playing an elite quarterback. But I think the Texans are going to win this game, and the reason is because we're going to get to it later, but at the NFC, this is kind of becoming the Russell Wilson season, where he kind of asserts himself as maybe the best player in the league at this point. And I mean, the way Russell's playing, but he's firmly entrenched as the MVP leader. And I think in the AFC, we're in the middle of the Deshaun Watson season. Mm-hmm. Last year, it was Mahomes stepping out and showing that he's a future star or a current star. And I think Deshaun is doing the same thing. I mean, he made 3 or 4 just absolutely ridiculous plays in that Chiefs game that I think maybe him and Russell are the only people in the league who could make it. I mean, that spin move on the goal line, I maybe Russell does that now. I'm not sure about that. And then there's a couple other There's a couple throws he had where he just made space in the pocket out of nowhere, and I was just like, oh my, this guy's different. And I think he's going to make those timely plays and give the Texans back wins in Indianapolis in back-to-back years in a close game. I think this is definitely the line on this team is Colts -1. You can see why, because there's a strong argument to be made for both teams. Yeah. But give me the Texans on the road. I think they've turned the corner. I would say with their offensive line, but Titus Howard being out concerns me. But Give me the Texans this week in a close, I think 3-point or less kind of game. Very similar to where the game they had last year that went to overtime.